My country people them. This news we want to read them on the screen. Now CNN it post them yesterday, number 5 day for June 2025. As now see them, it talks about it. The president for America it don't sign a proclamation for ban 12 countries them made a no travel enter inside America again. Now CNN it report them yesterday. When I listen to the news article small, then I go talk after. When I listen.
Está mal. O sea, todos tenemos derecho. Y ser migrante no es un delito.
A new travel ban on citizens targeting 19 countries was announced by the White House on Wednesday.
We want to keep bad people out of our country.
Of all the countries, the new restrictions may impact Venezuelans the most.
So when I don't hear what you CNN it talk 12 countries then they ban them completely. So make I read them for una. Before I read the news article for una, many una go wonder why una never hear this news before. Now because Cameroon is no day amongst the 19 countries the way America is target them. Now why that way the amba fools they never go for Facebook and for social media for go talk nonsense as usual. So the news article continue for talk saying President Donald Trump is signed a proclamation on Wednesday, the 5th of June 2025 for evening time. He banned travel from several countries to the United States, citing security risks. So the ban it will fully restrict entry of nationals from 12 countries: Afghanistan, Myanmar, also known as Burma. You get Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. So people from 7 other countries will have partial restrictions from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. So all of those countries were just more for name 19 countries them. Someone they get total and complete ban, and 7 other countries they get partial ban. Of course, Cameroon, now one of the biggest partners where America get them for the fight against extremist organizations. That one even Amia they talk now Marco Rubio, the State Department head. It means now the Secretary of State for America it talk on the 20th of May 2025, where he sent a congratulatory message to President Paul Biya for the celebration of Cameroon National Day on the 20th of May this year. Now what's that way they talk? They congratulate Cameroon and for their assistance in fighting extremist organizations and terrorism around the world. Whereas other countries them, like how America talks, they are not doing enough for fight against global insecurity, terrorism, and the fight against terror around the world. Cameroon will be ready for receive the people the way America want to deport them, want to move them out of their country. People the way their TPS expire today, where on the 3rd of August they go automatically be ejected out of the country. Cameroon be ready and willing for receive all of those Cameroonians the way they did for America. Other countries are not doing enough. So now see now why that way America, their position, or Cameroon, their relation with America, it be ever so strong. It be even stronger than before. And now why that way when I see the indict Eric Tato, they catch 13 other so-called Amazonians, they try them and they lock them inside prison for America, but not a single Cameroon government official, it don't ever be sanctioned by the United States of America. So now see now what that would only tell now. These so-called Amazonians, they talk to the one for getting independence. By what magic? The only calculation where they will get them now say they go kill a few people them for bring international attention. And now why that when I be here they talk to the one for internationalize the struggle. Now why that when I be here they talk about United Nations, UNESCO, America, UK, Europe, African Union. They call the France, they call the Sweden, they call the Canada, they call the Switzerland, they call all these countries them because they know say they don't get the power for move the Cameroon government out of the Anglophone zone. The only hope where they get them now say different person will get bigger power, it go can help them for the fight. But since they start fight, the same international community now they catch them, lock them for prison, like Mangang them, like Cho Lucas Yaba where they catch them, lock them for Norway, like the other one the way they catch them for Nigeria, they send them for Cameroon. Now the international community that, and at the same time the United Nations General Assembly they vote elect a person who come from Oku. Philemon Yang, they make he the president of the United Nations General Assembly. So now the international community that America again, it don't cancel the TPS, the temporal protected status for Cameroon with Joe Biden. It be give them a few years ago. President Donald Trump, it don't come for office, it cancel them, it talk say, peace and normalcy they return for Cameroon, when I go back for our country. Nobody na me they talk, when I go read the statement where the American government talk the official statement. Nobody na me they talk. So when we talk when I think so with the joke, the international community, they don't assess the situation on the ground. They come to the same conclusion where we come to. Say peace and normalcy they return. People they go back, IDPs and refugees they come back, and schools they open, businesses they open, jangi houses they open, churches, market squares, and credit unions. All of those things, life is coming back to normal because we don't already defeat ambassador terrorism. Even the noise where they be used to make them for Facebook, they don't feel make them anymore. All these things they be evident. And America, where they get a presence on the ground, they don't do their own assessments. They send the reports for America. Now, why they cancel the TPS? When I will see the European ambassadors to be there for Bamenda a few weeks ago, from Spain, Germany, France, and the EU representative for Cameroon as well, it be there for Bamenda. When I will also see the American ambassador, it be there for Boya just a few weeks ago. When I will see the Italian ambassador, it go right inside the BLM just a few weeks ago. Amba and noise. So they remake the noise, and the noise and then they enter for any international circles. They don't make all kind of noise to take themselves, they don't tire. They don't be talk about say this ban. Imagine if Cameroon it will be amongst one of these 19 countries them. Say America don't ban Cameroonians and they no travel into America. Wait till the Amber fools they for there for social media that they talk today. Just imagine wait till they for the talk. The noise, the nonsense they for the talk. But Cameroon no they amongst. Now why that way they should don't quiet. They should don't quiet. Because Cameroon is diplomatic relationship with all of these big countries around the world, it be very good. Cameroon they in a very good position. Remember time we talk say nothing really happen like Canada or Swiss talks. When I can't make noise, when they can't talk say Canada go sanction Cameroon, America go sanction Cameroon, United Nations go up, come down. They say this and that international community. What's the international community day? It don't be 2.5 coming up to 3 years since Cameroon be talks will not deal for no Canada pre-talks or none of that nonsense. Wait, it don't happen since then. All the noisemakers on the ground, like so-called General Efang will kill them, throw away their body for public. Will not do it, nothing. All the other one, them General Popo and the rest, are not even them and the plenty. We don't kill them, throw away their body them in public. Even Efang, the other one, JC, Funi Christopher Bamenda will kill them. So the noisemakers, they will kill them on the ground. For Norway, they catch Ayabacho Lucas, lock him, incommunicado, 8 months today. Charge you with inciting crimes against humanity inside Cameroon. That is after the so-called Canada pre-talks. Even Dong Emmanuel, so-called Capo Daniel, he come on run from the ATF, AGOFC. He go create his own nonsense. He make some noise too for that corner day. All of those things they happen, and they just report that the truth, the reality for now. When I be talking to Canada, it go sanction Cameroon. Who are the sanctions the day? It no exist. So when I see Cameroon get strong international relations with all of these nations, them. Imagine if they be put Cameroon amongst those 19 countries, them say they don't target them, or they say they don't ban them, they no travel to America. Wait till these Amber fools of the talk, they say, they for talk say, oh, now because the Canada pre-talks, then now why they sanction Cameroon, right? That's the kind of nonsense they for talk. But nobody can make that noise now because Cameroon get really, really good diplomatic relationship around the world. And now why they want to need for really congratulate the minister, in fact, the whole Ministry of External Relations for Cameroon, because they are doing a fantastic job. Now, by the way, all over around the world, Cameroon get a very stellar reputation for your diplomatic missions and your diplomatic relationship with all countries around the world. Cameroon get a very excellent record with all of these countries there. So now just the small news that way I bring up for them, I contribute them, what will they happen around the world, how it affect we. I go continue for the bring una all this sweet to read them, all this good news them. Una no go hear this one for Amber, she no why blast them, because they no go take them for try for tarnish the image of Cameroon, but because they other countries they be included, Cameroon no be included, they no go talk about them. And a wider way at the bring up for una, explain the small intricate details of una, make una understand what way they happen around the world. Cameroon it get an excellent record around the world for their diplomatic, political, and that international game where Amber terrorists they wish said they forget them. Now Cameroon it know how to play the game. Now why that way we'll get Pa Philemon Yang there as the president of the United Nations General Assembly. And now why that way America, they don't look at Cameroon, they see a partner where they feel work with, look at the amba terrorists, you see people the way they feel indict them, catch them, lock them. Now the situation that on the international global scene. So they not get the picking them on the ground where they feel carry guns, drive Cameroon military out of the Anglophone zone. At the same time, the international community need to come to their help. So who side the independence will come from? How will now go achieve the so-called independence? My country people them.
The temporal protected status in which USA lawmakers are calling. We record that 42 lawmakers in USA, they wrote a letter to President Biden and they said Cameroon should be granted a temporary protected status. While there are many groups who are trying to push the US government to do that, there are many groups also, many groups in Cameroon, Friends of Cameroon, who are pulling the strings behind to stop, because they know that once President Biden signs and say Cameroonians, or let me say Cameroonian because that's how they will refer to, that people from Anglophone Cameroon or Cameroonians in USA are being granted temporary protected status, it's a whole big changer. It's a whole big changer. It means politically there is an issue in the country.
Is it right, in my interpretation, that America's perception of what is going on in the Cameroons has essentially changed? Because essentially they call it an internal crisis, an internal conflict. I mean, you do not grant temporary protection status to an internal crisis, do you?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
We have done it in Liberia and we have done it in Sierra Leone. We have done it in South Sudan. South Sudan is one of the countries. We've done it in Somalia. Again, Somalia's problem is with Al-Shabaab. So most of the time it is with internal crises.
What?
Uganda, Ukraine is one of the exceptions if you look on the list, because Ukraine is the one where there's an external war going on. But in Cameroon, both, I mean, you could argue that the Boko Haram crisis is externalized, because much of Boko Haram and ISIS West Africa is centered in Nigeria.
Now, this TPS privilege runs for 18 months. When it is 18 months, what is it going to take to convince America that it should be lifted? Or do you think, or is it extendable?
It is absolutely extendable. What happens is when it gets close to the period that it's going to expire, the United States government undertakes a careful analysis of the conditions, and a decision is made in Washington at what we call the interagency level to say, okay, we have the temporary protection status. Should it be let to expire, or are conditions still similar to a Cameroonian having to go back to Cameroon? Will their safety be threatened?
All right. Now, let's look at one critical issue involved with this TPS status thing. There is this debate amongst Southern Cameroonians to the effect that often at times these rulings tend to benefit more Francophone Cameroonians than they do Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, who are actually suffering from the brunt of the war. How does the government, the U.S. government, separate between the two to know exactly who is just an economic immigrant and who is actually running away from war?
Under this temporary protective status, all someone has to be is a Cameroonian. It doesn't matter if they're from, the Central African border, or from Douala, or, any Kusari. It doesn't matter. It applies to all Cameroonians. Cameroonians in the United States, immaterial of their immigration status, do not have to return to Cameroon at this time. And they are guaranteed a period of at least 18 months.
So again, this is about benefiting everybody who comes from Cameroon, no matter where from Cameroon they come from.
Absolutely, absolutely. They have to be very careful. They have to follow the procedures. As with anything else, there's obviously a bureaucratic procedure. There's a form they have to fill in, based on which the U.S. government will determine their exact status.
So if the U.S. were to lift this temporary protected status, what would be informing them to do so?
The U.S. would lift the temporary protected. They will review it after 18 months. And in 18 months, if there is peace in Cameroon, if there's peace in the north, if there's peace in the southwest and the northwest, then they will lift the temporary protected status, and every single individual Cameroonian who is in the United States, they will revert to the immigration status that they have individually.